Good afternoon, everybody. I will call to order this special meeting of the Perry Township Board of Trustees for June 11th, 2021 at 1:00 p.m. Ms. Grill, will you call roll, please?
Trustee Hartshorn,
Here.
Trustee Mears,
Yes.
Trustee Wynn.
Yes. So we're here today, and forgive me, I'm a little hoarse, to discuss our levy and what we're going to do about it. And I know Jason and Missy and I got emails from new fiscal officer Grill, which greatly explained a lot of this process way better than anything had been explained in the past. And I believe at this time what the idea is to keep our current levy as is and add an additional 2.5 mil capital improvement levy to the ballot in November. And Jason and Misty, is that what you guys understood as well?
Yeah, based on the email that Charity sent, summarizing our past conversations along with what she talked with Harry Hartlaub about, that seemed to make the most sense.
Right. So what Charity has proposed between the two levies, if the 2.5 mil capital improvement levy passes, it will generate a total revenue of $591,021.71, which would provide approximately $295,000 for each one of the fire departments. And she broke it down even further for, how to explain it to the residents. Property value of $200,000 if they currently pay $150.70. The new rise would be $175. So a total of $325.70. I see that as more doable than anything else we've been playing with. I guess Sonia and Glenna, how does that sound to you? Is that more along the line of what you guys are looking for as far as our doing a levy?
I agree. Glenna, I've been speaking and what I alluded to previously is I think a separate levy is the best way to go versus trying to change the existing levy that you have with the replacement, because it's going to be hard to explain that to your residents and some of our residents and also New Lebanon's residents in Perry Township. So
I agree with that also. And I spoke to Charity and I spoke to Larry down at the county also. So, I think we're all on board with this as being its own independent levy. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've met with some resistance after talking to some residents about it because it's a new and another levy, but I think we can do some promotion of the fire department. Fire prevention month is October, elections are November. So if we cheer stuff up and talk about, the positives, make it just a big happy campaign, people may be less likely to balk at another levy and just be willing to understand, it's capital improvements, it happens, it's going to be a thing whether we want it or not.
The big issue to convey, and this is important, is I know a lot of this gets crossed up into what's Clay paying, what's Perry paying. Bottom line is that Perry has been underpaying for the services provided for the last couple of years.
We've been lucky.
And we've been lucky or unlucky with the tornadoes that came through. But the bottom line is that the previous levy should have never existed as long as it did in its current state. So now we're trying to right the ship, and to do that, it's going to take some incremental change. The first one is the capital improvement levy, and maybe a couple years down the road, we look at lowering the current millage for the old levy at the current property values and get that updated as well. So I think that this is, overall, it's not going to be a continual upward trend as it pertains to fire levies. I think that we're just trying to get back to where we should be as far as paying for the services that we consume and making sure that those services are able to be provided moving into the future.
And I think
Good.
that people are starting to understand also that our operational budget over however many number of years has been kind of whacked, and we're trying to put things back the way they need to be.
What's the definition of this levy? It's on your.
I didn't know what you're asking there, Missy.
What does this money go for?
It'll go for all of our capital equipment that currently we have a fire capital improvement fund where a lot of our larger expenditures come out of for almost all of equipment at the fire department, mainly vehicles, some of your breathing apparatus, anything that's like $3,000 a piece or above. So
Okay, so
it does not go towards operating.
Okay,
And the other thing too is that a percentage, was it 25% of the current levy comes out for capital improvement right off the top?
That's what the city does. That's what
Right.
we have done for a long time. So what we'll be able to do is probably alter that once the levy passes and put 100% of that initial levy into our operations and then put the new levy into fire capital improvement.
Right. And that's important to convey.
Yeah.
Is that's how this allows us to address the part that we've been a little upside down on, paying for our operational support as well as the capital improvement. So it's a well-rounded approach that will help on multiple fronts guarantee our fire services over the future years.
Sounds good.
okay, so the 133,000 that we're paying now will go in your general fund and this new levy will go for the capital improvement. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Correct.
So Charity, where was things left with the auditor's office, county auditor's office, on the language for putting this on the ballot?
We're still working on getting the exact verbiage together on that to make sure that it fits the needs.
Okay. So our goal is to have this all tied off and submitted to the county before the end of July, right?
Correct. And we should be able to, I just have to touch base with Mr. Hartlaub again. Just tell him exactly what direction the trustees have decided to go with it. And then that'll tell us what language needs to be in the levy.
Charity, it'll be probably Tuesday before you'll get language back, because I know Gloria's off until Tuesday and she's the one that'll be helping you with the language.
Okay.
So at this point, is there, and I'm asking the other trustees, there's no need to make any motions or anything else at this point, because we don't have the language developed and we don't have the package ready to be submitted to the county.
Correct.
At that time, that's when we would actually go through the formal process of the motion and everything else.
We do it in the form of a resolution stating the whereas neededs,
Right.
and pass that as a motion. Include things, such as necessary EMS equipment based on even COVID or any other reason, put everything into it.
So is that part of the language the county is going to help us with, is the resolution language, or is that something we need to work with anew on?
Probably
The county can help you with that language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just, if the county helps us with it, then we'll run it through anew and make sure that we're good. Then we can address it hopefully before or at the July Board of Trustees, if not a special meeting before the end of July.
What's our deadline to get it on the ballot? It's like the beginning of August, right?
August 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I think it's August 3rd. So, yeah, we don't want to wait any longer than the July meeting. So, let's go ahead, Charity. Let's get this on the agenda for the regular Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay,
So if we need to discuss it further before then, we can hold a special meeting, but we'll make sure to have the resolution drafted, written, and proposed by that date.
okay,
And that'll give us a couple of months to work out how we're going to address things from a informational dissemination perspective with the fire departments in Brookville and New Lebanon. So I just want to make sure that we've got a roadmap defined of how we're going to move out over the next couple of months, because the last thing we want to do is forget something and then end up rushing to try to get stuff out in a smart and well thought out way. So
Right. And Sonia and Glenn, if there's certain verbiage you want included in that, go ahead and shoot either me or us an email so we can make sure that it's conducive to what you guys are looking for, you know, in as far as the levy. You know, I think getting the levy on the ballot, we're just going to end up calling it a capital improvement levy, but the details of what all that's going to be are what we're going to have to explain to the residents.
I
Okay,
think once Charity gets something back from Gloria, if she can just send it out to Sonia and myself, then we can kind of peruse it, and then, you know, before she gets it off to you guys.
sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on it?
Do we want to ask if there's any questions? There's a sizable number of people in attendance today.
Okay. Do we have any guests that have any questions regarding our proposed levy?
Doesn't look like it. All right. That said, I guess I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, I'll second.
trustee Wynn,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
trustee Mears.
Couldn't hear you, Missy.
Oh, yes, sorry. I don't know why you guys can't hear me.
This is the only time you're quiet. That's what we're doing a motion.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
me
Thank you.
too.